how could a character who has less than 1 minute of screen time leave such a monumental impact on not just myself, but millions of millennials across the globe, who is only mentioned once in the opening credits of Star Fox 64 and has exactly 5 lines of dialogue, most of which are locked behind the hardest levels in the game that are only obtainable through very specific actions the player has to take due to one of the most unique gameplay experiences ever created. But with a distinct map, a sacrificial life, and a few lines of dialogue, James McCloud has inspired me to try my best to be a parent that is worth saving. But the most special part about this game is being able to share my first time playing it with my 2-year-old little girl.
What's that?
It's my new game.
So cute.
That is so cool, right?
Just rip it.
Yeah, rip it.
So cool.
That is so cool. So Fox has to go save his daddy. So here, you can push the blue button, okay? I'll do this and you push the blue button. Blast him, Chicky. Ah, watch out.
You did it. Wow. Me flying so fast.
I blew up. Chicky, we always get back up and try again, right?
This crazy.
Oh, we're gonna fight the robot again. Are you ready?
What's that?
Those are my skateboard wheels. Life used to be so simple, but time has gone on, and now I'm not just a gamer, but I'm a parent, now raising my own little gamer. And parenting is hard, okay? I mean, we are responsible as parents for the entire future of another living, breathing human being. Right? Like, the way we interact with our children can make or break their future of their lives entirely. And playing Star Fox 64 has led me to realize that James McCloud was such a strong influence on his son that Fox is now risking his entire life to go and save his dad, whose backstory, mind you, none of us even know. But what I do know is that James is a father worth saving, as Fox now gathers his crew to travel across the galaxy to save his dad from the evil villain that is Andros. After beating this first level is when I realized that this game isn't as linear as most games are. Rather, there are multiple paths and planets to explore before you arrive at Venom to save James McCloud. The game is laid out in a way that it presents choices, but it doesn't just let you explore an open world like it does with, let's say, Skyrim or something like that. It gives you choices within its boundaries set forth by the map you are given. Now, there are plenty of games that give you different paths and missions based on the dialogue choices you select or whether you choose to kill this character or not. But the beauty of Star Fox 64 is that this is one of the first games to introduce this hidden branching path system. You see, this branching system actually wasn't even in the original Star Fox game. Rather, this is something new that was specifically introduced in Star Fox 64. In the original Star Fox game, you would select a path you wanted to take based on the difficulty you wanted to play. But in Star Fox 64, this is the first time in a video game you don't select the difficulty, rather you unlocked it while you played each level. And after beating the first mission, the map shows us 3 distinct paths to take. However, I don't have a choice to select any of them, and that's because I took the easy way out. Yes, I know, surprisingly, I never played this game before, and the first time I did, I walked through the level like a baby, okay? I beat this game with my 2-year-old, and truthfully, I probably would have had the same exact situation play out even if I was playing by myself, okay? But because of those choices, now I am locked to this pathway that is on the bottom of the map. And if I wanted to try and go to these other paths, I have to push myself to accomplish more challenging tasks, such as flying underneath all of the arches in the lake section, which will then unlock a secret boss battle. But the game doesn't outright tell me that this is a choice. I have to just find out on my own. And truthfully, I don't think there's a better parallel to life in gaming than this, because we as human beings have choices to make. We can either take the easy route and things will be okay. We can still reach our end destination at some point. Or we can choose to push our limits and challenge ourselves in order to expand our skill set in ways we never knew were possible. And this is something that is clearly displayed by the layout of Star Fox 64's branching system. I like to think that this map is a real map that Fox has with him, that James left behind for him to follow just in case of an emergency. Now, Fox has all these choices to make, but it's also all within the boundaries of 3 lanes. It's like James is testing Fox on his piloting skills and easing him into the fight on his way to take down Andross in the end. It's a concept that I feel is so perfectly paralleled in parenting, but it's not an easy thing to do by any means. As a parent, I want to protect my children. I want to keep them safe. I want them to know what the right thing to do is. But if they continue down the path of comfort and I tell them everything that is right and wrong, how are they ever going to make choices on their own? Or saying that I go the other extreme, where I let my kids run amok and just figure out how the world works and let them decide on what is right and wrong. Either one of these can lead to detrimental outcomes for my children. And this is a really big concept, and as we jump into the next level, I want to tie it into a story that is incredibly well known and provides examples that focus on both sides of the extremes and how to handle it as a parent. The story goes like this. There is a man with great wealth and a large property who has 2 sons. The younger of the 2 asks for his share of the property, where he then takes it all and goes out and lives a reckless life, spending everything he has. Not long after, a famine comes, and he finds himself longing for the food that the pigs are now eating out in the field. But then he remembers that even his father's servants ate and live better than he does now. So he decides to go back to his father's house to work as a servant. This son is an example of my kids living without boundaries and just learning as they go. It leads to nothing but destruction and self-inflicting wounds that take a long time to heal. And to the son's surprise, when he returns, the father welcomes him back with open arms and throws a big party for him. Now, on the opposite side, the son who stays and obeys his father for the last few years sees a party getting prepared and becomes jealous of his brother. He goes to his father and complains, but his father says to him, "You were always with me, and what is mine is yours. But be glad that your brother, who was once dead, is now alive. He was lost and now is found." One situation shows a child living a boundary-free life, and the other one full of boundaries. One leads to destruction, and the other leads to pride and envy. This story hits me so hard because it reminds me that as a parent, I am to give my children choices and guide them while still encouraging their independence along the way. It reminds me to provide my child with the same level of love, whether she takes the easy route or the harder route. In terms of Star Fox, that means she can beat the game in 1 hour and never see James McCloud's dialogue, but know that he was always with us along the journey, even if it's not the true ending that James McCloud intended. Because the beauty of Star Fox 64's game design is that it allows you to create your own story. As with my second playthrough, I accidentally beat all of Star Wolf on Fortuna. We got him, yes! Leading me to unlock a secret branch to the center path on the map.
I'll take care of the bomb now.
Why is it? Oh, I'm so excited, dude. That's so sick. And my goodness, what an exhilarating, fun reward it was to feel like I did something that was harder than intended for me to do. Like, by beating one mission a different way, it opens up a whole new game to be explored. And these paths, they aren't just new. They actually dictate how difficult the game is going to be. Looking at Fox as he continues to try to find his father, we can see another lesson that James has instilled in his son. A lesson on sacrifice. James McCloud was determined to save the galaxy from the villainous Andross. And when the Star Fox team arrived to the world of Venom, Pigma betrayed his team and turned him over to Andross. Happy Hare, being the only one to escape, returned to Corneria and informed Fox about his father's fate. And judging by what happens, it's clear that James McCloud instilled in Fox the idea of sticking to the mission no matter the cost. James does this by leading through example. He doesn't ask Fox to do something that he didn't already do himself. James does something that as a parent, I do constantly. Whether I realize it or not, I am always leading by example. My kid is constantly watching. Her mind's like this little sponge that's just absorbing all of the actions that I take, internalizing them, and making them her own ideas on how the world works. And that is whether my actions are good or bad. Whether I sit on my phone and scroll TikTok for hours, or I'm outside reading a book. Whether I'm watching hours of television, or I'm spending time going for walks outside, my child is picking up on my habits that I might not even realize I do. And Star Fox has provided me with such a great example of how this plays out. Because while trying to get to the real ending of the game, I failed time and time again, because this game is not very easy to beat. Remember, as I head down different paths, the game gets more and more difficult. So in order to get to the actual ending, I have to reach the most difficult level in the game, which is Area 6. But how do I get to Area 6? Well, I need to go through and play this game over and over and over again, unlocking the secret levels like the one that I found earlier, which means that on Fortuna, I need to kill all of Star Fox, which was difficult at first, but as I continue to try and try again, it becomes much easier. That also means that after I go through the lava planet with ease, on Macbeth, the tank planet, I need to hit every single switch in order to unlock the next secret path that takes me to the final planet called Area 6. And on Area 6, I need to fly past the entire Starwolf battalion of ships and kill all of Starwolf before going on to fight the real Andross. Which, by the way, Starwolf now has all new upgraded ships that I swear are like twice the amount of health that they had before. It's brutal.
Good grief, not again. Wow, this is crazy. Where's the rest of my team?
And throughout this entire process, I failed time and time again over a span of days. And I was getting incredibly frustrated. But by leading through example for my daughter, I decided to keep trying and not let the failure win. This process and this game reminded me that I am to be the person that I want my child to be. If I want her to follow her dreams and as a Christian read her Bible, then it's important for me to read my Bible and work hard on my dreams, like making videos like this. That's not to say that I am to be a workaholic and never spend time with my kid either, though. But if I want my child to be a selfless and caring person, I need to be selfless and caring and put the work down and spend time with my family, even if that means sacrificing the growth of my channel or my career. And just as James shows Fox how to be a great pilot, how to save the galaxy, how to maintain order, and how to be an encouraging leader, I, as a parent, am tasked with instilling the same morals and principles that I believe into my children each and every day through the actions I take. Because as Proverbs 22:6 says, we're to train up our children in a way they should go, and they will not depart from it. Or Deuteronomy 4:9 says, lest your eyes forget the things that your eyes have seen, unless they depart from your heart all the days of your life. Make them known to your children and to your children's children. And let me tell you, when you see this come to fruition, it is the most heartwarming thing you can experience as a parent. Because while trying to beat Area 6 over and over again, after hours and hours with multiple days of attempts, and it starts to wear on you and you get incredibly frustrated and yell about losing because a game that came out in the 90s and was meant for children on Nintendo hardware is absolutely destroying you. But your daughter comes in from the other room and says,
Let me help you.
she picks up her controller to help you beat the level, and you see in real time her walking in the footprints that you laid out before her, it leaves you incredibly humble, with a great sense of encouragement to continue pushing through the challenging times that come up as a parent, knowing that what you are doing is actually leaving an impact. But a legacy is not easily created. In order to leave a legacy, you need to first be a parent that is worth saving. You see, Fox McCloud wouldn't risk his entire life and the life of his team if his dad was a selfish jerk and didn't care about anyone or anything. Fox McCloud risks his entire life and his team because his dad is a dad that is worth saving. It's safe to assume that James McCloud was present in Fox's life. He made the sacrifices needed for his son to thrive when he left Corneria to take down Andros. He encouraged Fox to find his own path in life. He didn't just tell Fox how to live, but lived life with him. He instilled in Fox the truth that he needed in order to succeed. We know all of this is true and not just implied when Peppy says,
You're becoming more like your father.
and just as James set out to defeat Andros once and for all, Fox sets out to finish what his father started so that the legacy of James McCloud could live on.
Don't ever give up, my son. Father? Follow me, Fox. This way, Fox. Never give up. Trust your instincts. You've become so strong, Fox.
Because at the end of our journey as parents, as 3 John 1:4 says, there is no greater joy than to hear our children walking in the truth.
You're okay.
Way to go, Fox!
That's our leader.
If you felt encouraged at all by this video, then consider subscribing, as I love to ponder life's greatest questions through the art of video games. Also, you can click on this video here where I break down the story of Tony Hawk Underground and how it's actually a brilliant story about friendship and how we shouldn't punch our friends in the face.